Right, now let's look at how caps and floors work with the available investment options. FutureSafe allows you to select a combination of market-linked investment and protection options to suit your client's needs, or a fixed rate of return. The 4 investment options that are available are 1. The S&P ASX 200 Total Return Index, 2. The S&P ASX 200 Price Return Index, 3. The MSCI World Net Index in Australian dollars, and 4. A fixed rate. Now, investors can choose any, some, or all of those options, and they can reallocate at each annual anniversary date. There are 10 different combinations of the protection and investment options available, and that gives you and your clients the choice and flexibility to align within an investment strategy. Each market-linked investment option is made up of a floor and a cap. The floor is the maximum market loss that your client could experience in a year. If the annual index return is below the floor, then the floor is applied. The cap is the maximum return that the investment option can achieve in that year. It is determined by the floor, which is the level of protection which is selected. If an annual index return is above the cap, then the cap is applied. If the annual index return is above the floor but below the cap, then the actual index return is applied. Each market-linked investment option has its own set of caps for each floor. Generally speaking, the greater the level of protection, the lower the cap. So now let's take a look at an example. In this scenario, we've selected a 7-year investment interval and a 0% floor for each year within the 7 years. For simplicity, we've also assumed that the cap is 3% each year. But as you'll recall, in reality, the cap will actually change on the anniversary date of the policy. In the first year of the investment interval, the index return is 3%. Because this is the same as the cap, the investor will receive the full return of 3%. In year 2, the index falls by 11%. But because we've chosen a 0% floor, our actual return is protected and is 0%. In year 3, the index rebounds 14%. As our cap is 3%, our actual return will be capped at 3%. The investment interval continues for another 4 years before coming to an end. In the final year, the index returns 2%. Because this is between the floor of 0 and the cap of 3, the actual index return of 2% is applied to the policy. With regards to interest payments, we use an annual point-to-point crediting method to determine how much interest we credit or debit to the account at each anniversary date. So what this means is that we look at the overall change in the index between 2 points in time, and not at the index movements that occur during the year. The graph that you can see shows how we determine the annual index return from the commencement or the anniversary date to the next anniversary date. Point-to-point interest is credited or debited annually based on the index performance between the anniversary dates, up to the cap, or where market falls, market losses are then limited to the floor that is chosen.